to a Friday edition of the CHGO Bears Podcast with some interesting, I don't want to call it news, but certainly a great piece by NFL.com, Tom Pelissero and company, talking about Caleb Williams in this offseason. But, before we get into that, first of all, thank you to all that have subscribed and have become diehards and all the things as you support the show as we continue to grow. The NFL draft now 6 days away. So if you are here for the first time, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, as we are here Monday through Friday at noon, pre and post game, and of course, any breaking news. And today, a special guest to start the show, Nicholas Moriano. Not you, buddy, but you do look great. By the way, I have a new background coming in the next week or so. So I'm going to try to top you because that thing actually looks a little cluttered. I'm going to come big, but we don't need to talk about that right now as we bring in perhaps somebody the Bears are staring right at out of Wisconsin, a Badger through and through, Tanner Bortolini, one of the centers, one of the offensive linemen whose name you're going to hear called sometime between April 25th and 27th. Tanner, thanks for making time for the CHGO Bears Podcast. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
Nick, you want to cut right to the chase, or you want me to cut right to the chase? Have you talked to the Bears, Tanner? Let's go right there. And if you have, how did that go? What did they want to know about you?
I have talked to the Bears at the Senior Bowl, and I think at the Combine. I can't recall. Just a quick lot of meetings at the Combine. But pretty sure it went well. Again, when you're doing these meetings, you're doing a lot of them. But it felt like the Bears went well, and it'd be a great spot to land.
And Tanner, I mean, the Senior Bowl experience, how was that for you? Because obviously there's a lot of good talent. There's a lot is made of the one-on-one. So just kind of tell us what that experience was like for you. And also, who's the toughest guy to block there down in Mobile?
It's a great experience. You get a lot of work versus really talented competition. And it's 3 days of it. You go from game planning to play some of the best in college football every week in, week out. And to everybody there is the best at what they do. And that's why they're there. So it was really good to get some work against some really great players. And the one-on-ones are obviously what they show the most of. And I think Michael Hall, Jr. from Ohio State's a really good player. Got a lot of quickness and power to him where he did a lot of things well. I think really helped himself out there.
So, Tanner, you grew up in Wisconsin. I think we got to just get in here. Were you a diehard Packer fan? And, of course, you'll play for any NFL team. But I think Bears fans, that's what we do. It's kind of pathetic. But people do want to know, Are you if you were a member of the Green and Gold, did you have some weird respect for the Bears all at the same time?
Absolutely. I think, it's a team you play twice a year, every year. And I grew up 30 minutes east of Green Bay, so grew up a pretty big Packer fan. So it always came down. I remember watching, I think it was Randall Cobb score a late touchdown to beat the Bears. I don't know what year it was. It was a long time back, but definitely been a great rivalry with Chicago. So no matter what happens, be happy to be on either side of it, but definitely a team I've watched closely for a long time.
Now, Tanner, obviously with that rivalry, when regardless of where you go, is that kind of what you want to be a part of? Something where there's a historic rivalry where, obviously you want to be on the better end of it, and the Packers have been as of late, but when you're envisioning wherever you might go in the NFL, is that something that you kind of just want to be a part of?
Absolutely. To be a part of a historic rivalry where so many guys, so many players, coaches have all been a part of it. And it goes way back. I mean, there's hundreds a year, about 100 years worth of players that have played in these games, in these rivalries. And to be a part of that is something truly incredible and something that you have to take a step back to appreciate.
So anybody that gets to the NFL is a great athlete, and you've got basketball in your background. Shout out to Dane Brugler, who's got your high school stats in there. I believe you averaged 13 and 10 as a senior, which is a nice job. But more specifically on the football field, you played at a very interesting time. A number one NIL coming into the game, but more importantly, I think it was during COVID. You're forced on the field a little bit, I think, earlier than expected, and then you made the transition from guard to center. So just talk about your journey going from, how much weight did you end up putting on? How difficult was it at the start? How much different do you feel now?
So it's been all over the place. I've played a little bit of everything in college, and I think that's the best part about it is that I got a lot of experience playing different positions, got a showcase that I could. So started at center, started light. I was a young guy. I came out of a small high school called Kewanee, Wisconsin. But I was probably about 280 in high school. So, going to the Big Ten, there's a pretty big jump in weight. So the first game I ever played, I was like 285 maybe. So like it was tough. You're going to get some big guys. Like the nose tackles like 330, 340. So like, it's a battle out there. But it was good, really good to get that experience as a young guy. And then gained some weight, was about 305, played right tackle. Went to 315, played both guards, and then dropped back to 305 this year and played center. So really great. I think the best thing about playing those spots is you get to learn what the guys around you need to be successful, and that way when you play right guard, center, left guard, you know exactly what the guys around you need to be great, and you know exactly what they need to give you to succeed.
Tanner, we had a guest on yesterday who made the analogy for offensive linemen playing on their right side to the left side is like trying to learn to wipe your ass with your opposite hand. What is that a good analogy when trying to talk about that, or like when you go switching sides? Is that something that's a big adjustment, or how would you describe it?
I don't know if that's the analogy that I would use, but I would definitely say there's a little bit of a difference to it. It's just it's getting the mentality of it. Just the hands are opposite. Like you're just so used to doing things a certain way with certain steps, like the run call. Now you're on the play side versus the back side. The first time you hear that, it's a little different. Your job, your technique, your assignment's going to be a little different. But honestly, once you get the hang of it, once you feel comfortable playing both sides, it's not as bad to flip back and forth. But that first time, definitely playing in a left-hand stance was an interesting one.
Where are you most comfortable right now, Tanner?
I think anywhere in the interior. I feel really confident in my ability to succeed there. And whatever a team needs on the inside, I'd be more than happy to play.
Go ahead, Nick. Yep.
Tanner, there's probably so many things that for the center position that make it difficult, but what would you say is like the most difficult thing about being the center? Obviously being the interior, the guy that's going to call out, the call at the line of scrimmage, sometimes help the quarterback. But what's the most difficult thing about playing the center position?
I think it's honestly the mental side of it. You are in charge of, making sure everybody on the offensive line is on the same page, is doing the right thing and the best thing, because they're all ride or die by your call. So you have to be the most prepared week in, week out to put those guys in the best position to succeed. So I think that's really an underrated part of playing center, because offensive line, you think they're nasty, big guys, but the mental side is a really big part of it. And I think after the quarterback, you have to know the second most out of anybody out there. So making sure that we put our guys in the best positions on each play, each situation is really important. I think really the toughest part about it.
So David Bresson in our chat is saying, according to the Beast, everybody reads the Beast. Shout out again, Dane Brugler. Tanner is highly intelligent, recruited by Harvard and Yale. How smart are you, Tanner? Let's go here. What would you say? If you weren't playing football, what would you do?
So I majored in real estate here, so at Wisconsin, and I love that. Both my parents are kind of in that industry, so I'd probably do something along the lines of that. What specifically? Real estate's a huge industry, so I don't know exactly what I would choose, but definitely something in there.
Can you
Tanner,
build things?
obviously,
you got building talents. If me and you, Tanner, let's get a 3 flat in the city. We're gonna duplex it down. We'll do it. Can you do that type of stuff? Or are you more the brains behind the situation?
We could do it. We have to figure out our financials. What are we going to be making? Is it going to work out? Is our rate of return going to be big enough? It'd take a little bit, probably a little more talking than we're going to be doing now, but we could definitely get something done.
And it's a tough time right now with interest rates high. This is what people want to know. But hey, I think there are diamonds in the rough out there that we can go find. So I'm excited about this opportunity. After you're done playing, Tanner, we'll wait. The market might change in the next 10, 12 years.
Hopefully rates drop in the next 10, 12 years, but we'll see.
There you go.
I know exactly who I'll be hitting up once that happens, Tanner. Going back actually really quickly to your college days, and obviously there's some really good rivalries in the Big Ten. I went to the University of Iowa, so did Mark. I think Iowa recruited you looked into you, correct? Everyone makes mistakes, but that's okay. But Tanner, talk about those rivalries. Like, which one stood out to you the most? Is there a game that stood out to you the most during your playing time at Wisconsin?
I think the Minnesota one's the biggest one for us, and this year to go up there and win it back in Wisconsin fashion, being able to run the football and run it well was really great. And being from Wisconsin, you really take pride in being able to run the ball and our ability to run the ball. And then we transition offenses, so more of an air raid, but still really being able to run into high level, again, I think like 200 plus yards. I'm not sure what the exact number was, but really dominate on the ground. Was a great way to go take it back at their place. Something that I'll never forget.
So let's take a look at the athletic part of your game versus the putting on weight. Like, how have you balanced? Like, everyone talks about your athleticism, but now like you put more on, you can't move as well. Like, how have you strategized that part of like getting comfortable? Like, this is where I need to be. This is where I'm most effective.
I think the best part about playing small school ball is that you get to play a lot of sports and I think develop more as an athlete. So I was never very heavy. But once I felt like I was an athlete, and that because of that, I was able to, get to where I'm at today. So then I was just putting on weight. And obviously you're going to lose a little bit. You're not going to be quite as quick as you were when you were, 280, but you're also getting stronger, more powerful. So it's just a trade-off you got to make, and then you got to find that happy medium of where you feel the quickest and the strongest, but not where you're really giving up too much of either or.
And so the other side of this, like Tanner talking to you right now, you've got a measured, balanced, whole base to you. How do you, on game day or even in practice, turn on the "I have to be nasty and dominate you" button that you need to be successful, right?
I think it's just the mindset. You don't got to be too wired all the time. I think that's really mentally and physically draining. But when you get out there, really locking in, really just focusing on going to, really beat the guy across from you and beat him every play. I hate losing. I'm a really competitive person. So that's what really gets me going is if I lose, I'm like, I'm really mad about it. I'm heated. So the best part about football is it's a physical, violent sport, and you can go take that out on the guy the next play. So it's great, and I think that's really what drives me to keep going and really gets me in that right mentality.
And the center part of it, bonding with your quarterback. What's your strategy with getting to know the guy who's putting his hand on your butt, for lack of a better way of putting it? I mean, that's a special bond right there. Like, you guys got to be together.
I think it's doing things off the field. Honestly, I think on the field, you're gonna do all that, but I think off the field, if you can go do things outside of football, get to know him better as a person, and you understand each other a little better. That way, when you get on the field, it's just easier to connect, easier to know what he's thinking. So this year we had Tanner Mordecai, and he came up to my house a couple times, and we went out together in Madison. But I think it's just bonding off the field, where if you can get close to that guy, get comfortable, know him as a person, you really know what he's thinking out there, and then you're both on the same page.
Tanner, really quickly, I see some people in the chat. They're wondering, like how many meals did you have to eat? Like, what are you realistically eating? Can you just go all out? And then, like, how does that work? I'm someone who's been trying to put on weight for forever now, but like, what was that like for you? What are you eating? How often are you eating? What was that plan like?
So training was tough because here's the hardest part about eating healthy is that it's like less calories. So if you're eating really clean, you have to eat a ton. So I'm eating I was eating 5 meals a day and like 5 solid size meals a day. And like, it's not always the most fun. But the good part is it's good food, and good food's not always the hardest to eat, but yeah, probably five meals, and then you have snacks throughout the day. And the snacks aren't crazy, fruits, salad, like cashews, almonds, whatever you want. But you got to eat probably at least 5 solid meals a day, which it adds up. It might sound fun, but then on your third one, you're like, damn, this is a lot.
Well, taking notes here.
Shots fired in the chat. Nick just asked Braggs, LOL. That's not nice. He's not with us today, Tanner, but he's our rotund co-host. All right, let's bring Adam Hoge. Went to Wisconsin. He's the leader of this damn podcast, but he rarely works on Fridays. That's not exactly true. There he is. Hoge, welcome. You get to talk to your teammate here.
I was watching. You guys are doing a great job as an interview. Tanner, I just had to jump in here because I felt bad leaving you with this Iowa guy and this Northwestern/Iowa guy. We can't figure out who he's rooting for on any given day. So I just, I want to come in here and just represent. Thanks for jumping on the show today. We greatly appreciate it. And how have we not pointed out the hair? Come on, he's got look at Tanner's. He's got the haircut.
Oh, wow.
He just he
was hiding the mullet
a little bit.
Tucked away.
Dude, I mean that's a Big Ten offensive line mullet right there, without a doubt. Hey, the Bears already got T.J. Edwards and Jack Sanborn on the roster. Mm-hmm. Just saying.
Two good players right there. Wisconsin, man. Good linebackers.
How long have you been rocking the mullet for the record here?
A while. So we had freshman haircuts. This is before we didn't give them any more. But anyway, I got my freshman haircut. I looked in the mirror and I was like, damn, like I got a receding hairline. I I got to do something crazy before I, lose it all. So I started growing a mullet. So I've been rocking with it probably since my sophomore year. Every time I cut it off, I'm like, I should have done that. And then we grow it right back out. But I love it. Business in the front, party in the back. It's good.
Tanner, I heard you mention Michael Hall earlier. Who else was tough in the Big Ten? Like your toughest matchups that you had to go up against?
Johnny Newton's a terrific player. I didn't have to block him quite as much, but he's outstanding. He gave us a lot of trouble. I mean, he's just good in one-on-one situations, and they do a really good job at putting him in a lot of those. We're really isolating him on the guards. And, even if you beat him, 45 out of 50 times, those 5 he's going to make you pay. And that's, I think, the really big thing about him. But he's a really great player, and I think he'll really do great at the next level. So we'll see.
So, did NIL change your college life, Tanner? Are you rich? Let's what was the impact, if any, on you? Because I'm
not rich. We don't. The offensive linemen, we're not too big on NIL. I was just, we get a couple free food deals, and I'm all about that. That way you can go eat for free. So we've done like Mission Barbecue, Portillo's. So like I actually like that. Just go throw up a picture on your Snap or Instagram story, and then they give you free food. It's a trade-off, and it's a big win for the O-line. I mean, anytime you don't have to pay for a $20 meal is a win for me. And then, but no, not a whole ton. I think it's just different now with a lot of guys transferring in and out. It's like we've had more transfers both ways, probably than ever before. So college football is a little different, but I think that's just how it's going to be from now on,
Yeah, and you made the decision to sit out the bowl game. I'm sure that couldn't have been easy for you because you want to be out there with your guys, but you also are looking for your future. What went into the mindset, going through ultimately making that decision?
Absolutely. I think it was just for me, whatever I was going to do, I was going to be all in on. And talking to the guys that we had declared last year, talking to the guys in our room, just felt comfortable that Jake Renfro, who's the backup center, he was ready to play, and that he would do well in that situation, and that I was just ready to move on, dive right into training, and be all in on what I wanted to do next and what my next opportunity would be.
Yeah.
Tanner, how would you just describe what it's like to be in the offensive line room? Because you guys are a unit. You guys win and lose together. It's a collective that you need to, you need to be on point and have the right communication. But what's it like being one of 5 on a starting line and just kind of going through the daily activities of just being a part of the O-line?
It's awesome. I love it. And I mean, the best part about an offensive line is like you're with those guys all the time, every day, on the field, off the field. And we had a really good group of guys at Wisconsin. Every Thursday before the game, we'd all go get O-line dinner somewhere. So the whole room goes to one restaurant. Like you can imagine how many seats that is, like 17, a table of 17. It's not very easy to go a lot of places, but we take the whole group out. Everyone gets to eat together, talk, socialize. And we had a really tight group of guys there. But I think the best part about it is that if you can do all these things off the field, you can build that trust that really translates to on the field success.
Tanner, give me a little optimism here about the future of our Badgers. So what's the biggest difference that Luke Fickell and that new coaching staff has brought in?
They got a whole new intensity and mindset, and I really love it. I think they'll be successful. I think it just, part of a rebuild is it takes time. Going from power run to air raid is probably about as polar opposite as you could be. So in order to get, the pieces that you need and they get everyone used to doing different things that they're probably used to doing, it takes a little time. But I'm really excited. I think we got some really good players. Talking to some of the guys in Madison, they think it's going to be really good. So I'm excited. I think the team's going to be really good, and wish them nothing but the best.
Let's before Hoge leaves and before you leave, Tanner, let's talk about the incredible season that the Northwestern Wildcats had last season. I mean, most people thought they weren't even going to do anything. They somehow made a bowl game. The Cats, they were a feisty cat, were they not?
No, they were, and props to them, man. I didn't think they were going to be like anything like after like the whole fiasco at the beginning of the year, but I think that just shows that the locker room can rally, players can get behind a certain cause that you can really do, whatever you put your mind to. So shout out to those guys.
Tanner, before I jump out of here, I do one more serious football question for you. Because I saw in the Beast too that you like embrace the center position, the responsibility of the calls. I know you touched on this a little bit earlier, but just why is it that you embrace that? Because some guys just even at the NFL level, they just don't quite ever get comfortable with it. And I feel like that's such a key to the position, especially at the NFL level with everything going on defensively.
No, I love being part of that. It's like a chess match out there. The mental side is something that I've always taken pride in, that I feel like I'm able to do and do at a high level. But there's no one I trust more than myself out there to make all those calls. So I think, when I played guard, we had a great center, Joe Tittman, phenomenal guy. But there's been a couple times we're on the field and he makes a call. I'm like, who? You sure? Like, this is what we're doing. And it's, as you're a guard, you can't change that. If you're the center, you can. But Joe was great. But so we'd talk, we'd watch the film together and, debate what we should call that week. But just, once or twice it popped up. But I always trusted that I'd be able to put our offensive line in the best position to succeed. And I felt very confident doing that.
Is the key to doing that just a ton of film study, I'm assuming? Obviously knowing the strengths of the team and what you can do, but it sounds like you're putting a lot of time off the field to be able to have confidence that when that time comes, you know what you're doing.
Absolutely. You have to watch film, put time in, see what looks we're going to be getting from. Do they bluff pressures? What's their pressure indicators? When do we think guys are going to be coming? And once you got a good grip on that, you can really slide to it, protect the quarterback the best, and put the guys in the best position to succeed. And it takes a lot of film, a lot of off the field time and effort and stuff outside of practice, but it all pays off in the long run.
Do you like that?
Really quickly. Oh, go ahead, Mark.
I'm just curious if he likes that. I think I might struggle with that myself, Tanner. I think I like the playing part, but that part might not be my forte.
Yeah, it's not always easy, but failing to prepare is preparing to fail. So, it's just the way it goes, and you always got to be putting yourself in the best position to succeed.
Really quickly, Tanner, I'm sure there's been times when you've gone to the line of scrimmage, you're calling out something. Maybe the Mike linebacker's like, bullshit, this guy doesn't know what he's like. How often does that happen when you get to the line of scrimmage where there's like this kind of chess match that's going on between you and, the Mike linebacker?
Good. And then you'll see him bluff. If we bluff a cadence or something, they'll trigger down. Then we'll call it out. You'll see him try to change it. Maybe he's fake changing it so that we change it. And it's just, as soon as you adjust to something, they adjust to it, and then they adjust to it, and it's, it's just football. It's the chess match, the game within the game. But I love that part of it.
Hey, Tanner, we appreciate the time. Best of luck. I think everybody who's watching this is hoping that you land in Chicago. The Bears have some opportunity there at center and on the offensive line. So you could.
I was gonna say, Tanner, we got you. We do like kind of a Bears big board. We got you at 74. I personally hope you go higher than that for you, but 74. The Bears are picking at 75. So I'm just saying it's right there.
Right there.
Right. I love it. So honestly, a lot of things you've said here resonate, I think, a lot with people who love offensive line playing, especially the center position. So.
And lastly, we do have to ask this on the way out. Do you know who Caleb Williams is?
Yes. Got to talk to him a little bit at the combine. It was a very nice guy to talk to in the 5 minutes that I had to exchange with him. So
there we go. Nice guy. That's inside information. Damn it. Hey Tanner, thanks for making time, man. Good luck in these final 6 days. Staying calm. I don't know what is your strategy going to be on game day? You gonna have the phone like on your lap, or are you gonna how do you do these things?
I haven't thought about that much into it. I'm letting my parents take care of the planning part for the most part. I just focus on doing the training, getting drafted, and they can take care of all the other stuff. So
yeah.
Good luck, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Appreciate you, Tanner.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Tanner Bortolini, Center, Wisconsin. Hoge, we did that for you, buddy. That was not really, but
you did that because that's the one guy you could get on the show.
Hey,
yeah, that's true. That's true too. But But hey, if that's the one guy I could get, I'll take it. He was awesome. Yeah. That was fun to talk to him, man.
My day. Not to go inside baseball too much here, but my day is kind of crazy. I didn't know if I wasn't supposed to be on the show today, but I was watching the interview. You guys were doing a great job. I just had to jump in and represent. And honestly, the one thing that was bothering me though is that you weren't bringing up his mullet. The mullet is outstanding. Should have led the interview with that.
Yeah, no, I blew it.
It really is like business in the front, party in the back with the angle that he's at, and it's in the Beast too. I'm pretty sure where he talks about the mullet. So did a good job.
Do you want to stick around for Dalton and the Sheriffs? Because Scully's going to be here in about 5 minutes.
I would love to, but I got a haircut and I really have to run. I'm a little worried.
You say hi.
I'm a little worried. Just make sure you don't do anything where like he cancels Friday's show. Okay.
I already sent in my Steven's
that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that you're going to scare.
Sorry in advance.
You're going to scare me.
I have a trial to get on the stage, and I think we'll see what he says. It's coming up, so don't go anywhere. All right,
well, great interview, guys, and have a great rest of the show. Talk to you later.
See you, Adam.
There goes Hoge on the way out, Mr. Wisconsin. Nick, are you sold? I'm sold. Get Bortolini in here, damn it. That was awesome. I like it a lot.
He's a really good dude. And, a lot of people in chat are like, hey, let's take Tanner Bortolini. Hey, with the 70, I don't know, maybe it's a possibility. Super athletic. He fits the athletic profile too. It's a big thing for Ryan Poles and seeing the RAS score. So that fits. Intelligent guy. So a lot of boxes are being checked there, right?
No doubt. All right, people who are active like Tanner Bortolini and you, Nick, and Hoge, and of course the elite athlete on the show, myself. We need more protein than the average American. In fact, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietitians of Canada and the American College of Sports Medicine, they recommend 1.2 to 2.0 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day for athletes, depending on training. So a guy like Greg Braggs doesn't need to worry about that because he's not athletic. But for those of us who do, you want to take in count. So for a 150-pound person, that's about 81 to 136 grams of protein per day. 1 3-ounce serving of pork provides 23 grams of high-quality protein that can help active individuals build and preserve muscle. That's what you're talking about there. So pay attention here, Nick. Elevate your protein game with lean pork, a powerhouse of natural goodness. Savor the flavor, savor the gains, and celebrate any occasion by enjoying the best pork produced by Illinois pig farmers. From your sausage and bacon for breakfast to pulled pork or juicy chops hot off the grill, it's an entire season dedicated to pork and the people behind the product. It's paid for by the Illinois pork producers' generations of commitment.
Love it. Got to get your pork. Do that right now. Do it right now. And then you also got to go get your phone and check out Prize Picks. Prize Picks, of course, is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. And they are the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. It's just you against the numbers instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks. You pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and just watch the winnings roll in. And Prize Picks has something for every sports fan, from baseball and basketball to League of Legends and everything in between. You can pick LeBron, Shohei Ohtani, Connor McDavid, all in the same entry if you really wanted to. And Prize Picks even offers injury insurance. This is huge, so that your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. For football and basketball games, if you have a player who exits the game in the first half and they don't return the second half, that player projection won't count against you and the rest of your entry stays alive. That's huge. And look, I'm constantly finding myself on my Prize Picks apps just kind of scrolling. Like, you can pick whatever you want, make a big parlay and see if it hits. And that's kind of the benefit of Prize Picks and how easy it is to use. And here's the most important part. You have to go to prizepicks.com/CHGO and use the code CHGO for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/CHGO. And again, use that code CHGO. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
You like anything tonight with the old Chicago Bulls there, Sir Nick? Have you looked at it?
I mean, so easy to go on this Prize Picks app right now and see what Kobe White's, point total is. Scoring 42 last game. So
yep.
Loading it up.
You could fade him. You could, more or less, baby. You take your time. Yeah. As I wish Jalen Johnson a very happy 24th birthday, 25, right? He's born in 99. It's 2024. That'll make him 25 today. Is that correct? Thank you very much. Regardless,
yeah.
It's Jalen's birthday, who apparently now is wearing number 1, taking it from Justin Fields. That's a little messed up, but hey, JJ is one of my favorites. Still, he thinks LeBron's the greatest, which is another thing. We've had that debate. That's not great, but I'm so happy that he's back. So phenomenal. Hey, Scott in the chat here. Love you guys putting my deposit down for London tonight. That's freaking awesome. We are going to London whenever the Bears are playing sometime in October next year. True Fan Travel is how you can do that. Check out the website, chgo.com, if you want to join us in London. We're going to have a ton of, we're going to make it the greatest week ever, damn it, as the Bears try to remain undefeated at that point. So we are going to have a special guest in a second here, as Scully from Dalton and the Sheriffs from our draft party that is coming up a week from today. He'll be there on the Friday night of our 2-day party. But just tease to what's coming up ahead here. Very interesting article today. Very, I would put on from Tom Pelissero, NFL.com. And the title being 2024 NFL Draft, pros, exec, scouts, coaches rank and evaluate the top 20 prospects in this QB class. And there is a lot of interesting information about what people are saying, which should get you hyped about Caleb, and also his goals. So, I mean, I was at, an extreme excitement level about what's coming here. And reading this, what people are saying about Caleb, not surprising, but it's just further confirmation, and it just puts a smile on your face about how much talent is going to be running around at the Bears quarterback position, which should have Bears fans excited. And I think you can just sort of feel the fan base moving forward after what was a very challenging time as far as people loving Justin and the first-class dude that he was, and sort of having a tough time letting go. And I think it'll be a lot easier even for going down the line when Caleb's on the field and doing things, hopefully as quickly into his rookie season. I'm seeing Matthew Brown in the chat saying Caleb's a dog. I mean, this dude is got some big time goals, but what people are saying about him is amazing. And I don't know how high is up, Nick, as we'll get into this in a little bit more detail, but in Pizzatola, I will be singing. So you stick around and you freaking enjoy what's coming. But the point being, I don't know if you feel more optimistic today or wherever you're at on this thing, but he is going to be the greatest quarterback that ever played for the Chicago Bears. I understand that's not exactly the tallest mountain, but it's a big thing to say before he's ever played a game and being that confident in it.
Yeah, look, it really it echoes the words he said at the NFL scouting combine. Like, he put these expectations on himself and just seeing, how far he can go and how far and what aspirations he's looking to, accomplish in his career, like chasing Brady and his record and things like that. I think that just speaks to not only the talent that Caleb Williams is, but the confidence, man. Like, you just don't say, like, I'm sure a lot of players will be like, yeah, I want to be the greatest of all time. And you hear it and you're like, okay, that's great to say, but do you actually believe that player will amount to that status that they're putting out there? With Caleb and how he plays and how he kind of presents himself, I'm not saying he's going to go out there and break Brady's record, but man, I want to watch and see where he can go, because this is how he is. This is how he presents himself. So I think it just, again, it's this, he's kept the same type of, I guess, energy throughout the entire process. And so now, again, we're 6 days away from seeing that guy come to Chicago and then finally be the new franchise quarterback for the Chicago Bears.
All right. On that note, let's bring in our guy from Dalton and the Sheriffs. My guy. There he is. Scully taking time. Now, listen, next Friday night, we have tickets available. If you don't want to see me, you don't want to see Nick, you don't want to see Hoge, you don't want to see Bryce, you do want to come and see my guy Scully, Dalton and the Sheriffs, who will be performing at Joe's on Wheat Street. Scully, thank you for making time jumping on here at CHGO Bears. We're going to look back this whole Boston thing that you got going on right now.
Yeah, hey, listen, you just got to embrace it. You know what I mean? We're on the tail end of the experience out here in Boston, I think.
Yeah, how do you feel about the Bears quarterback to be Caleb Williams saying things like he wants to chase Tom Brady, baby? Do you like that confidence for a rookie coming in? That's his goal. He wants to get to, 7, which, by the way, he only had 6 with New England, which was weird that you let that guy go, but that's okay. You leaned into Belichick. That was ridiculous, but that's a story for another time, Scully.
So I think it's really impressive, and by what all I've seen, right, that's I guess there's a fine line when you say stuff like that. But I think that the thing is that when you have what he has in terms of talent and the whole package, I think it works. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want him saying anything else, right? Like, I mean, I guess there's 2 ways to play it. You're either like, you're all in and being honest, or you're kind of just being quiet and, and letting it happen. But I think either of those is actually perfectly acceptable for where he's sitting.
So tell people what they're going to see on stage here. And Scully, when we've been promoting us being out there and you guys there, I've been saying Dalton, Carm, and the Sheriffs. So are you open for like potentially one of us just being kind of like a backup?
Oh yeah,
I've got a role for myself that you're going to see in a minute.
Yeah, Yeah, we're happy to have you. You know what I mean? You carve a roll out there. We'll get you a shirt, maybe a cowboy hat or something like that. We're ready to go.
Okay, well then we got to jump right into this. So on that note, I've been listening to you guys, and instantly it's going to be impossible if you check out Dalton and the Sheriffs to not fall in love with the song "Worry No More," which at least that was for me. It's very catchy. So I mean, I can imagine all of Joe's on we just having a great time there, because we all know that come on. Who doesn't want to? Who wants to get rid of some? It's the best. So here's my my demo for you, and I think you really want to focus on the back end where I get into the chorus. But I tried to go for the whole thing. Just I'll be doing this quietly in the background. But here you go. This is a one taker, Scully. It's not necessarily my best, but I think I'm right there.
Hey, listen, you're in.
She believes in the fairies, and I believe in her. Things were rich, couple of dollars and avocados to burn. Down again to my friend's last dollar, and I've been down this road before. I come by my problems honestly, but honestly I don't want to worry no more. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba ba ba. I can help you. What do you think?
Hired. Well, listen, we like to describe our shows as a carnival. So we're very lucky. I don't know if you guys are hockey dudes, but Jeremy Swayman, the Bruins goalie, comes up and plays with us. And it just, you never know who's going to join on stage. If you kind of show up, and you're more than welcome on our stage anytime. See, I mean, come on. Nick, you coming up there with me then? Are you going to join? You can figure out the bop, 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 right? That soon, I'm telling you, it's a great listen. Phenomenal. And I'm moving on to the rest of the stuff too.
I would. I won't be there though.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're
in spirit,
Nick, forget about Nick. Let's see what the people are saying in the comments here. Michael Dodson, that made my day. Scully is really rethinking the whole thing here. Okay. I think I'm gonna dress well. I'll be there. Elric, my ears are bleeding. That's on you, Elric. Listen, this voice is beautiful. But
listen,
hey,
as long as you're having fun, you're invited. That's the way
true.
Our shows go.
Well, and people for real are going to have a ton of fun listening to you. I'm super excited about the show, and it's going to be just perfect. The draft will be done. The Bears will have Caleb. They'll have whoever else they're going to have, and then Bears fans will be having a great time at Joe's on Wheat. So come on out on Friday. Tickets are available. Thursday is sold out. Scully, how did you guys get to where you're at in life? Just give us a little brief bio on how you got there.
Certainly not the correct way, but we've been showing up for at this point 14 years or so, and we made a friend in Ed Warm out there in Chicago who really believes in what we're doing and has really helped us a lot, and played a lot of fun shows at Carol's Pub and Bub City and Joe's, and we're very lucky in Boston. It's just we don't have like a record deal or anything. We just have a lot of people in Boston behind us, and we get to play giant venues. And right now I'm at I don't know, you ever seen the movie The Greatest Game? The golf movie?
I have not, but
no.
I can make that a thing before next Friday.
Yeah, it's like the old Disney movie, but I'm at the country club in Brookline right now for a show, which is pretty cool. It's a very cool course. So it's just weird stuff like that,
Yeah,
Scully, did you
go ahead, Nick? But I think Dennis Walsh is
he's
with us
here too. Yeah,
come on in here, Dennis. Let's get Dennis in here.
What's happening, guys?
Dennis, did you see the demo? Are you excited for this potential huge addition for about 7 minutes on Friday night?
I did. I think we have to play Worry No More now every time we're in Chicago. Skull, what do you think?
I'm in. Hey, little known fact about Dennis. Dennis is a #1 Carolina Panthers fan, and so he's got a conflicted relationship with you guys right now.
Yeah, I just want to say you're welcome. We see teams that are struggling and like to help them out, and
There was. Did you know? When did you know, Dennis, that the Bears about to fleece you to levels of just ungodly proportion that they're literally talking about it as the greatest trade in NFL history?
Wait, did you say Greg Olsen trade? I didn't hear you. Cut out.
Okay, Dennis.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, I will certainly admit of the fleecing. It was kind of a bummer, but I mean, the way the past 5 years have gone, it's like, we just had our annual head coach introduction, which is great. It's an annual thing here in Carolina. So, yeah, I mean, I love DJ Moore, but their whole thing was it's easier to replace a receiver than a quarterback. So at this point, you got to show me though,
Yeah,
How do you feel about right now with Bryce Young? Like, obviously the first season did not go as planned, but do you still sense there's like a confidence that he could still, be that #1 pick, amount to that status, or just what's the overall feeling right now with him?
Yeah, I mean, without actually getting political, I think that, when you're a quarterback and even a head coach or even a GM, you come into a new team and there's things or messes that have been laid out for you that you can't really do anything about in your first year. So I'm not out on him. I think he showed some potential at the end of the year. I think there's just such a mess there that I think you got to give the guy a chance. That might just be the trying to hide the fleecing talking, but I'm not completely out on him yet. I think you got to give him some receivers and a line and now a new head coach that's, not Matt Rule and or Frank Reich. So an offensive minded coach. So we'll see where we're at.
Yeah, you're bearing the lead, which I think that owner of yours might have a little bit to do with the patheticness that the Panthers are rolling with, but we can sort of relate to that here, although hopefully that's changed with Kevin Warren being here. Hey, Dennis, real fast. I know that you play the bass, but I see the piano behind you, so you got all the musical talents, huh?
I'm very bad at piano. I will say my girlfriend can play it much better than I can, but it's there and it looks cool. It's real mahogany, as they say in whatever movie that was. Leather-bound books,
Yeah, leather-bound books in that. Scully, what? Maybe throw a little love at Dennis. What does Dennis bring to the table?
Dennis is great. Dennis is our resident Carolina Panthers fan, obviously, but he's also our tech wizard. There's not a single change that's been made by a current mainstream band in the world that he doesn't know what they're doing on the tech level. It's like basically statistics and finding data for those facts that you need to build a team around. You know what I mean? He's always got it. So he's always scouting the other bands and knowing what they're doing and bringing that to the table. And he plays a mean bass as well.
As a bass player, I have to do something else. We get a bad rep, so it's a very humble position here.
And Dennis, I'm also noticing what you bring to the table. You bring an awesome mustache, as the two mustache people on the podcast right now. Do you always rock a mustache?
No.
I'm I literally got this on yesterday.
This is brand new due to my hectic life of running late to a show. I grabbed the razor and I used to have a little beard, not quite a Scully beard, but shaved a big line in it. And I said, I'm going to make the guys laugh on stage tonight. And it's been here for a week. So.
Yeah, I mean, you're pulling
I got some
off,
work to
man.
do.
You're pulling it off, buddy. It's not everybody.
I'm trying.
Hey, two things. One, thanks for being here. Actually, three things. One, thanks for being here. Two, Scully, where are you right now? Are you on the dock? I feel like there's I think the Atlantic Ocean's right behind you.
So I'm actually at the country club right now, looking out of the pond over one of the golf holes right now.
Oh, yeah.
Setting up for a show. Which is it's pretty cool. I mean, the history of this place is pretty wild, and it's pretty sweet.
All right, and thirdly, everybody come out to Joe's on Weed Street. If not for the CHGO Bears podcast, come see Dalton and the Sheriffs. And it's Friday night, 6 to 10. Tickets are available. Hopefully, we're going to sell it out, but so go get them now. Going to be a ton of fun. Presented by Circus Sports Illinois, Casa Azul. Dalton and the Sheriffs going to be there. Joe's Bar on Weed Street. Hey, I'm getting everybody up on the song, so maybe the CHGO Bears podcast can join and worry no more here for the chorus at bare minimum. If anybody has any guts out there, but I know I do, so I'll be there, and I appreciate the opportunity. I'm going to do you guys proud.
Listen, it's very cool. It's also the debut of our new lead singer, so you want to be there and see Carm make it happen and take us to the next level.
Thank you.
And the Panthers will be on the clock too. Don't forget that.
That's true. Hey, Dennis, you guys are going to be welcome on the show that night too. So get ready to talk some football. And thanks for making time on the Friday, guys. Looking forward to seeing you in person.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Dalton and the sheriff, Scully and Dennis. Come on, Nick.
I wish I could be there. You guys are gonna have so much fun. I'm jealous, but you guys are gonna have a great time, and I can't wait to see your performance, Mark. I'm high expectations. You already set the bar with your intro video, so only expecting great things.
I mean, the thing in life is that, like, if you put yourself out there, sometimes things actually come true. And now I'm like legit kind of nervous.
Just get a few drinks in you. You're gonna do jazz.
I'm gonna have to do the Cole Komet. I'm gonna have to get
Yeah.
I mean, couple of drinks, then we'll get up there and I'll to the best of my abilities. All right, hey. And I'll take an Uber home. But if I was driving home, I'd want to drive home in a Chevy. Drive home a winter this April after visiting our partner, Ray Chevrolet. They're sharing the best offers of the year. Make your way to Ray Chevy on Route 12 in Fox Lake to join in on the savings. Get yourself a Chevy Trax and be like Carm, one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest. You'll always be able to shop one of Chicago's largest Chevy inventories. Enough with these chat attacks that the Trax is not a man car. You are a man, a big-time man in a Trax, for the record. But you're also a man or a woman or anybody. We don't need to gender cars here. Find the perfect tailgate vehicle. For a limited time, they're offering 0% financing for 72 months on a new Silverado. There's over 100 available. Top it all off, they got 125 vehicles under $20,000. Phenomenal deals. And you can get a free oil change at Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake when you mention CHGO. Free oil change. All you need to do is mention CHGO when scheduling that oil change. Start off the new year right and schedule it by April the 30th. Visit Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Find new roads.
I might, I have to get my oil changed, so I might have to take a stop at Ray Chevy in Fox Lake. So you should too. And I have to tell everybody about CD1 price cleaners. So, okay, they have low prices. Everyone knows that, but customers save over 30% on their dry cleaning bill by switching to CD1. It's one great perk about CD1. Their simple, transparent service is a second great option. Other cleaners charge a different price for every garment type. It's annoying, but they have upcharges, and you may pay a different price each time you visit. At CD1 price cleaners, they charge one low price for any garment, even sports jerseys, the same low price. They have that fast turnaround. CD1 price cleaners has your order ready the same day or next day. Other cleaners, they can take 2 to 4 days to have your clean garments ready. They also give you text alerts. CD1 Price Cleaners sends you a text when your order is ready for pickup. And of course, they have a wide variety of services: dry cleaning, wash and fold laundry, blankets and comforters, tailoring and alterations, leather cleaning, area rug cleaning. They really have it all at CD1 Price Cleaners. But first, you have to visit chgo.cd1.com. The link is also in the description below. Once there, you can pick an in-store coupon or online pickup and delivery coupon options.
All right, so let's get into this Caleb stuff from today. And I'm just going to read some of the stuff that came out of Pelissero's piece that I found particularly interesting. We can get into it. But so one rival NFC GM, quote, "I think it's a no-brainer. In my mind, the talent is a rare one. So you just go for it. I don't think it's a debate. That's about drafting Caleb." NFC scout. "He tries to be a hero all the time, but he does some rare stuff in terms of arm talent and just flicking the ball. He can do it all. He's obviously really athletic, explosive, productive. He's got 9 3/4 inch hands. The ball comes off his hand easy. He throws from ridiculous angles. He just plays around too much. He's a man among boys in college football, so he's definitely going to have to speed up his clock and, depending on the coaching staff and the scheme, get in rhythm with the offense. But he's such a natural football player with everything that I don't see that being a hiccup at all. The Bears are in good hands there."
Mark, real quickly, let's stop right there. He's a natural football. Like, it doesn't matter, even if you hate Caleb Williams for whatever reason, maybe the off-field stuff. When you watch him on tape, like, the word natural just comes to mind instantly. How he's able to just stay in the pocket, process what he's seeing, and deliver the football. And it doesn't matter if it's at crazy arm angles. It still looks like it's a natural process for him. And I think that's spot on of how this scout is describing his play, because I remember just putting so many notes. He just looks natural. He looks comfortable. It's just easy for him. And that's what the Bears are getting when they draft Caleb Williams, the number 1 overall pick.
And so I'm seeing in the chat from Eagle and Lion, current ads for Caleb to go first are at minus 20,000 LMAO. And in this piece, just interestingly, I did not realize this. Maybe I should have, but Caleb hasn't met with anyone but the Bears. That's it. He had one in-person meeting and is with the Chicago Bears. So not that I'm breaking any news here that it's a done deal, because everybody knows it. But I do it kind of made me smile. Like, dude hasn't looked anywhere else. He knows he's coming to Chicago. This is it. He's as dialed in on who the Bears are, what they have, and what it's going to take for him to be successful in year 1.
Yeah, he's got his mind. He's got his mindset. I think the Bears obviously have their mindset on like what's going to happen at number 1. And, again, that was a goal that he set out way, way before it's happening in 6 days, that he wanted to be the number 1 overall pick in 2024. He's reached that point. He's played well enough to earn that status. So, I don't fault him for not wanting to meet with anybody else, because he knows that he's going number 1.
He knows. Everybody knows. It's a done deal. It's just I don't know. I enjoyed reading that. One more from an NFC assistant coach. His superpower, Caleb Williams, is being able to create out of the pocket, extend plays that make for those highlight reels. But that's also not realistic at this level. People are too good. Defenses are too good, and you're not playing in the Pac-12. But the arm talent is really good. He can put the ball anywhere, has really good touch. I think he's good mechanically. He can make you pay with his legs, particularly in situations, 3rd down, in the red area. But he's not a small dude, and he runs powerfully when he wants to. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm going to say he's a superstar. It's always hard to gauge that. But he has the tools to be a superstar. And then one NFC quarterbacks coach, I think this kid is set up for – I think this kid's as set up for success as any guy walking in the league in the last 5 years.
I mean, look, when you hear those things and you're a Bears fan and you're just talking that, like, wow, that's going to be our quarterback? No freaking way. Like, that's an exciting thing to, I mean, just again, I think we even have to process it. Like, that's going to be the guy that's lining up under center at Soldier Field in, a couple of months here when the season starts. The part about being able to create out of the pocket and extend plays, obviously you don't make a living off that in the NFL, but there are a lot of guys that make special plays in the league doing just that. You think of Patrick Mahomes, you think of guys like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. So it's like, yes, that's not all their game, but a lot of the big plays they create, what makes them special is when they do those things. And Caleb can do those things. He obviously just needs to, play in structure, which he can obviously do as well. So it's good that he has that asset and that it could be a part of the overall game that makes him what I think he's going to be a special quarterback in the NFL.
It's Friday, so you super chat. We jump right to you. Nuku, I see you, my friend. Happy Friday, guys. Carm, sorry for firing you yesterday, but that performance today gets you rehired. LOL. Great show. Go Bulls tonight. Thank you, Nuku. I didn't sleep well last night, so to be back in your good graces means the world to me. And yes, indeed, go Bulls tonight. No Jimmy Butler. Let's go. Get in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, they have a really good chance. Mark, did you see that we were tagged in Nico, one of our diehards, yesterday in his Instagram story after your beautiful tribute to him, calling glistening in the shower? He really enjoyed that. He said he sent me a message because I'm like, I'm so sorry, Nico, with a laughing emoji, and then he's like, this is why I became a diehard. So there it is. You made an impression by calling a man glistening in the shower.
Yeah, and Listen, Nico, I know you glisten. I mean, you're a diehard. You are a bright shine of light, and thank you for Instagramming us. We appreciate it. $10 from Clayton Stoker coming in here. Bears fans are damaged. I get it, but I think fans are overcorrecting in their minds at wide receiver. Caleb Williams, 13, will finally be our guy that makes scrubs into solid wide receivers. Trade back and get the best 3 tech in the draft. I mean, we've talked about that, Clayton. We talked about it yesterday. Johnny Newton was mentioned on the show today by Tanner Bortolini, who's gave him some love. Listen, I have no idea how Ryan Poles is thinking about this, but I hope he's thinking creatively. If he loves to do it at 9, he wants to make that pick, great. If he thinks that he can get a ton of assets and he thinks he can get a guy later that he loves too, I'm down. This is a trust in Poles moment for me.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think what the last super chat was kind of saying there, like Caleb should elevate the people around him. Yeah, absolutely. He should be that type of guy. I get it. He's going to be a rookie. There maybe have to temper some expectations, but even a guy like Tyler Scott, who had an up and down season, and he has to do it on his part to make some of those catches that he dropped. But a guy like Caleb Williams, if Tyler Scott's on the field, he's going to get an opportunity. And now it's going to be on those receivers to really capitalize, make those receptions, turn those plays into positive ones. But I agree with that. Like he's a multiplier on offense. Like we talked about Montez Sweat being a multiplier on defense. Caleb Williams is a multiplier on offense that should make everyone around him better. But it's nice that he does have 2 1A, 1B wide receivers in DJ Moore, Keenan Allen that should help him out in the beginning. But as the season goes on, maybe Caleb Williams should return that favor because he is that type of guy.
Right. Elevating dudes will, if he is who we all think he is, that's going to be something he'll do. All right. Last one here on what was in this piece from Pelissero. And I'm going to nitpick. At least I've been going back and forth on this one all day long. So this is what he writes. When Williams made his pre-draft visit a couple weeks ago, the Bears had him go to dinner with a few key players. Team officials have stayed in touch with Williams since via video chat sessions, just talking football. There's still a matter of agreeing to a contract, which could be more complicated than a normal slotted deal, given the uniqueness of Caleb's draft process thus far. Okay, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about and I like everything that I just read there. But this is where I just get a little, I don't know, sideways glance. Sources say the quarterback's conversations with the Bears have been very frank and positive. The Williams camp sent the message early about what it wanted. Investment in infrastructure to help Caleb reach his goal of chasing Tom Brady and winning Super Bowls. And the Bears so far have delivered. Okay. I don't know. Like, look, I appreciate dudes that are setting their goals high, but I almost make the playoffs, win a game, become a legitimate starter. Throwing Brady's name out there, that is tall, man. That is super tall. So it made me, honestly, a little bit uncomfortable. And then I had to be like, well, Carm, how come, why don't you set your goals higher and be like that? And maybe this is a good thing that he's doing. And maybe that's why you're triggered, because you're afraid to chase greatness, damn it. So, okay. But then the other side of it is like the Caleb group is telling the Bears what they want. I don't know how much that is specifically accurate, but the Bears know what, or at least they should know what Caleb in theory would want. So I don't know. I don't know how to take that one either. Like, is there already too much bending over for the Williams group here? I doubt it, but that read a little rough for me.
Well, the Tom Brady, aspiration, the goal to want to reach that. I mean, what the combine wasn't Michael Jordan reference too? So it's this isn't new stuff. He's going for the GOATs at these respective sports and saying, hey, I want to get to that level. So again, he's keeping that same energy, Mark. That's what he wants. He's putting it out into the universe. You got to manifest these things, right? You want something, you put it out into the universe, you go get it. So with Caleb, look, there's a lot of factors though. In football, I mean, obviously you could be a very talented Aaron Rodgers, very talented quarterback, won Super Bowl. It takes a whole team an organization, a defense, especially everything to kind of get to that part. But if you have an elite level quarterback, it makes your job a lot easier for the entire organization. But I don't mind it. I think that, again, shows a guy that has had confidence. He's still confident. He knows he's going to be the number one pick. I'm putting Tom Brady's name out there. I'm putting Michael Jordan's name out there. Let's go get it. So again, we just need to see how this all plays out. But like, that's who he is, Mark. And that's the kind of guy the Bears are going to have at the quarterback position. Someone who's very confident, very skilled. Let's see how far that takes him.
I'm going to take it into the weekend. Set your goals high. Lean into the fears of getting there and go fully into that work ethic. Figure out what you got to do to get to that level. And blank name. Well, don't draft him if he's chasing Jay Cutler's record, which has spawned some people defending Cutler. But that's a great point. Blank name. Right. Great. He's chasing Brady, chasing the GOAT, arguable GOAT, at least as far as accomplishments are concerned. There's actually no argument on the accomplishment side. That's, I guess, at the end of the day, a good thing. But I'm like, wow, okay, this is a different cat coming in here.
A lot of pressure he's putting on himself right there. Like that. Yeah. That's the thing too. He's putting a lot of pressure on himself, putting these things out there. But he's someone that I think thrives in those pressure situations. So, again, it's a lot of talk right now, and there's no games being played, and that's kind of what it is at this point in the season. But yeah, it is what it is.
Well, yeah, and there was a lot of conversation about can Caleb handle doing this in Chicago as the number one overall pick, replacing Justin, all the noise that's going to come with it. And as far as I can tell, with everything that's going on in the draft process, he has proved that, yes, that part of it is not going to be a huge concern for the Bears. And he's, for lack of a better way of putting it, built for this. This is what he's been striving for since he was way back in the day when he was doing workouts at 4:30 in the morning when most kids were, I don't want to go to school today. Hey, all of that. Nick, fun show today, man. All right, that was
great. Mark, great job getting Bortolini and everybody else on the show. This made it an awesome Friday show, and yeah, go chase greatness this weekend, Mark, and you're gonna kill it on Friday night with Dalton and the Sheriffs. It's gonna happen.
I mean, Tanner Bortolini, Scully, Hoge, Dennis, Nick. I mean, where else are you going to get this content, Bears fans? Thank you to one and all out there. Appreciate the support. Hit that subscribe button as we continue to try to build it out here. We appreciate all the support. Again, CHGO Bears live at Joe's on Weed Street Thursday and Friday next week. 6, I'll say it, Jay Cutler days away from the draft. My God.
Kyler Gordon days.
There we go, Kyler Gordon. All right, everybody have a great weekend. If you are somehow in the neighborhood of Wrigley Field, the 120 Club is out and about today in the bleachers, and they will be afterwards as well. Hit up Rags on Twitter if you want to find out exactly where Gregory will be drooling after the game. Hopefully the Cubbies get a win. Good luck to the Bulls tonight. And hey, Nick, see you Monday in studio, brother.
See you, Mark.
See you guys.
We all silly like the mayor.